What's good then, YouTube? Hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another video here on our channel, or if it's your first time, welcome in. Today we are bringing you a Trent Alexander-Arnold 89 rated Rulebreaker player review. We've gone ahead and got a load of games in with this card, and I wanted to go ahead and give my opinions on him, let you know whether he is worth picking up. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. First of all, question and answer is, where did I play him? I played him in a right back in a 4-3-3, and I also tested him in right mid in a 3-5-2 just to see if that's a position that he could play, especially with the stats that he does have. In terms of his stats, what does he offer us? He has 90 pace, 70 shooting, 83 passing, 84 dribbling, 83 defending, and 76 physical. Let's talk about chemistry style first of all. I think this does very much come down to where you're going to play him, really, what you want from him. You could go for an anchor, you could go for a shadow to increase that full defensive stats as well if you wanted to, or you could actually leave him on a basic. Now, if you are going to get him forward a little bit more, maybe you want to go ahead and increase his shooting as a possible option, but you have got some variable options on there because he is such a well-rounded card. We used him on the join the attack instruction in the 4-3-3 to get him forward, and in the 3-5-2 I had him on completely balanced and let him do his own thing. He does have high attacking work rate, medium defensive work rate. He has 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. He's 5'11" and has a unique body style. At the minute, he's coming in at 220,000 on PlayStation and 250,000 on Xbox, which is interesting because it's normally the other way around. It's more expensive on PlayStation normally. Let's go ahead and talk about his pros and cons. How did I find this card? Well, was he better than Kyle Walker? Was he better than João Cancelo? Is he better than Hakimi? All that sort of stuff. We will start off with the passing. Now, he does have 83 passing. His short passing is 81 and his long passing is 85. His crossing, for me, was phenomenal. 87 crossing is what you have on the card. And because I played him in 3-5-2, he got the ability to come in and whip that ball in quite frequently, actually. And he really did that well. His passing was phenomenal for a fullback. Was very happy on that side of things. Really couldn't ask for too much more on there. I think if I remember correctly, he has. Let me just double check this, actually. I think he's had a downgrade on his passing. I think that's where this Rulebreaker card did actually have that. Yeah, so he's gone to 88 passing, and the Rulebreaker card has 83. So that's where he's had the downgrade. But it's still more than fine for a fullback. Not an issue on that front. So that definitely was a pro. In terms of his shooting, obviously shooting isn't his strong point. He does have 84 shot power, though. If he gets inside the box and you can get a powerful shot off for him, you will have a chance to score. It definitely isn't a strong point for him. It is more of a con, but that's not what you're getting, Trent Alexander-Arnold into your team for. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Dribbling is a big one for him. He has 84 dribbling, 80 agility, 80 balance, 90 ball control, and 82 dribbling on his overall stat. I think he didn't feel as good. We did a player review on Renan Lodi, right? He didn't feel as good as Renan Lodi on the ball. But I think for a fullback, fine. The question obviously I'm getting asked is, can he play centre mid? Yes, he can. But I think you need to increase the dribbling stats to feel comfortable with him in the middle of the park. That was my personal experience. Not that he's fine for a fullback. His dribbling stats were fine for a fullback. I'm just saying that if you were playing him in anywhere else, you may want to increase your dribbling stats because occasionally he felt like a little bit caught on the ball in that sort of side of things. Obviously, his skills are what they are. His strength, which is quite a big one, I think, for the fullback position. 70 strength on the card, which is a little bit low for a fullback. You maybe would like to increase that. Because he's got great pace, you want him to be able to compete with the likes of Mbappe out on the wing, Mane, whoever it may be that you're coming up against. Maybe increasing that strength if you are playing him at fullback could be beneficial for you. His positioning, how was his positioning in the defensive awareness? He's got 83 defensive awareness. He's got 86 stand tackle, 82 slide tackle. How was he on that side of things? Well, his positioning was solid. With him being on join the attack, he got forward quite a lot. And yes, he is more, prominent in going forward. His positioning was good enough for what it was, but occasionally he will get caught. But that was okay for me because I knew that was the risk I was taking with him. If you put the stay back while attacking instruction on him and tell him to stay back, that will override his core wanting to get forward, but it is something you need to be careful of. He is going to cost you a little bit of gaps in behind here and there. So just be mindful of it and be aware that that is something. What I would recommend is if you're going to have him, have a quick centre-back on that right side. So at least then if he is caught out of position, you've got a quick centre-back there to come over and get over. Varane, for example, Rudiger. Van Dijk, probably not so much. how is actual his defending? With he's got the 83 defending, one thing you have to take into account is when you compare this to like Kyle Walker, for example, the defending's actually fine. It felt better than maybe what it was, to be honest with you. He just seemed to get to a lot of the balls. Now, with his defending, we've got 85 interceptions, 83 defensive awareness, 86 stance tackle, and 82 slide tackle. A lot of that is arguably better than Kyle Walker. The only difference is that Kyle Walker's strength really makes up on that side of things. So does offer a very good level in defending when he is obviously in that defensive area. Heading wasn't something that was too much of a big deal for me. He got up and won a few headers. Just have a 70 jump in, which is a little bit low again, but it's not too big of a deal. I think because he's 5'11", if I remember correctly, 5'11", yeah, he'll be okay. As long as you're not up against a Ronaldo at the back stick, that's where you'd struggle. What we're going to do now is go ahead and jump into just a few highlights of some live gameplay so you can see him directly in there with my reaction. Well done, Arnold. Stand. He went byline. That'll do. But if they're passing it around the back, you have to do something. You have to use team press. You have to use constant pressure. You have to use second man press. Good flick on. Hold on, Arnold. Hold on, Arnold. Ball over the top. Switched and covered it. He shouldn't have gone for that. So now let's go ahead and talk about his card in a little bit more and kind of if you should get him into your team. Let's start with team links. How easy is he to link? I said he's difficult to link. And what I mean by that is that yes, he can link to Van Dijk. Yes, he can link to Mane or Salah. These are cards that... So Van Dijk, I'm not a massive fan of this year. I think he's a little bit clunky. Salah, I'm not really that keen on just because of the weak foot. But that's me being picky. That's why I said he's hard to link. But for you guys, it's pretty easy to link because you could go Salah, you could get Mane off Chem, you can go Van Dijk on there. There's a few things that you can do to go ahead and get him into the team, right? So, yeah, you've got the options there. The only downside to this is that you can't go anywhere else with him. Like, you have to have those Premier League players there. You know, he doesn't have the possibility to go, oh, I'm going to go link him into La Liga or Serie A. You've got Tomori in Serie A. You've got Smalling in Serie A. You don't really have much else other than Bellingham in the Bundesliga. There's not loads where you can take him elsewhere. So, difficult to link, but probably okay for the majority of people. How long can this card last? What is the longevity of him? He will be viable for as long as you want him to be. Because he's got pace, because he's got decent defending stats, you'd have to put an anchor on him to increase that physical, because the more we play against better cards with better strength in attack, that's when he'd be more punishable. But it'd be absolutely fine for you to use for as long as you seem fit. Enjoyment of card. I really liked having him in the 3-5-2 at right mid. I preferred him getting forward more in the 3-5-2 than I did in the 4-3-3. I felt like I got more out of the card. The crossing was great. The passing was great. He was good going forward. I think if you have him on stay back while attacking, you're probably wasting your coins because you're not getting the benefit of what this card really offers. Is there a suitable level? Can he be played at all levels on FIFA 22? Absolutely. There's no cap at Division 2, Division 1, Elite Division. He's absolutely fine. He's solid to do a job elsewhere. Maybe higher level players will punish the willingness for him wanting to get forward. Maybe they'll punish him for the lack of jumping and strength. But I think he'll be okay for most people. My overall rating, I think he's a luxury item. And what I mean by that is that you may as well get Kyle Walker or João Cancelo if you're in that fullback position in the Premier League. I think the coins that he's at for most people, it's just not worth that investment. It's not worth that extra money. If you've got a solid team overall and you just want to spend those extra coins, then yeah, I'd get him. So I'd probably give him a 7.5 out of 10 because of that. I didn't really feel like it was a massive upgrade elsewhere. When you compare him to Hakimi, very much an even level. But the thing is with Hakimi, he's so expensive purely because of his links, obviously, to Neymar, Kimpembe, Messi, Marquinhos, and so on. Hakimi, to me, just feels stronger, more physical, more dominant. Kyle Walker feels like that as well. Arnold just lacked that little bit of full defensive class. However, if you play him in a 3-5-2, you play him in that wing-back position and a 5 at the back, then yes, he will be worth your coins. You could play him centre mid if you wish to. I don't know how you do that with changing the team around, but you can play him centre mid and he will be very good there. That's my opinion on Trent Alexander-Arnold, Rulebreaker's 89 rated card. If you enjoyed this video, please do go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know exactly what you think of him. Are you going to pick him up and put him into your team? Pop them thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.